हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज साजिद अगेन फ्रॉम बॉक्स ब्रेन। टुडे हम लोग जैसे हमारा सेशन गोइंग ऑन है और बहुत अच्छा सक्सेसफुल सेशन जा रहे हैं रिलेटेड टू ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट। तो जैसे कि हमने स्केड्यूल किया था सर सलमान साहब के साथ ऑन सैटरडे, तो आज जो है हम लोग सलमान साहब के साथ मतलब स्ट्रीम हो गए हैं। और रिलेटेड टू जो हमारा आज का टॉपिक है प्रोजेक्ट एंड प्रोडक्शन मैनेजमेंट। तो आज जो है वो हम लोग सर से फीडबैक लेंगे और सीखेंगे। हम लोग तो इतना ज़्यादा डिस्कशन मतलब ये इंटरेक्टिव सेशन रहेगा, हम लोग इतना ज़्यादा बात नहीं करेंगे। बट सर बताएंगे अपना पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस एंड ऑल दैट। और प्रोडक्शन के हवाले से मैंने इन माय पास्ट मतलब एक्सपीरियंस विद सर, मैंने तो काफ़ी चीज़ें सीखी है, लर्न किया है सर से प्रोडक्शन से रिलेटेड मैनेजरियल थिंग। और आई ऑल्सो अटेंड वन ऑफ द ट्रेनिंग, और बहुत ज़बरदस्त ट्रेनिंग थी। आज तक वैसी ट्रेनिंग नहीं रही लिटरली। बहुत मज़ा आया था उस ट्रेनिंग के अंदर। तो उसी ट्रेनिंग को लेके और सारी चीज़ें लेके आई हैव जस्ट प्लान द ट्रेनिंग विद सर सलमान। तो सर वेलकम ऑन बोर्ड। तो
सर सलमान, आपको आवाज़ आ रही है? हेलो।
एक्चुअली बीच
हाँ, साथ ही सर के इंटरनेट कनेक्शन का इशू है।
हेलो सर। हेलो
जी, आपकी आवाज़
जी, आपकी
क्लियर
आवाज़
आ रही है?
क्लियर आ रही है?
anyway.
साथ भी
साथ ही मीनवाइल अगर आप
कांटेक्ट कर सकें
कांटेक्ट कर सकें
तो आप उनको
तो आप
बता
उनको
दीजिए
बता दीजिए
कि
कि
इंटरनेट
इंटरनेट
स्पीड है, उसमें
स्पीड
इशू
है,
है
उसमें
और वो
इशू है और वो बेटर
डिस्कशन के साथ ऑन
लाइव।
सही। चलो एनीवेज, तो सर सलमान के साथ काफ़ी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है। हम अपने टॉक को कंटिन्यू करते हैं जब तक सर जो है वो वापस आ जाएंगे। तो सर के साथ बड़ा अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है रिलेटेड टू प्रोडक्शन, और क्वालिटी की चीज़ें भी सीखी। और हमने लास्ट टाइम जो है मार्केटिंग मैनेजमेंट के हवाले से एक सेशन था, बड़ा मज़ेदार सेशन था बैक इन 2016 आई गेस। तो बड़ा अच्छा सेशन रहा सर के साथ और काफ़ी अच्छी चीज़ें लर्निंग के हवाले से मुझे। जी सर, वेलकम ऑन बोर्ड सर। नाउ स्टार्ट विद सर, आपने मेरे बात सुन गई होगी कि हमने लास्ट सेशन बड़ा अच्छा आपके साथ मार्केटिंग मैनेजमेंट के साथ आई थिंक सो मैंने लिया था बैक इन 2017। तो ऑन बोर्ड सर, थैंक यू हमारे चैनल पे हमारे जो है बॉक्स ब्रेन के अंदर आपकी डिस्कशन का। तो सर ओवर टू यू सर, स्टार्ट करिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Saad. Thank you, Saad. First of all, as the Saad already introduced me, that as a professional, I am a mechanical engineer और NAD से graduate किया and then some of the degree from abroad. I worked in US almost 6 or 7 years in the automotive industry, where the design and development engineer, especially one of the sports car, which was the dream most of the people, Mustang. I worked on that car, especially design of the rack and pinion gear in 2004 and 5. So after that, I came back Pakistan and then some of the work with the local organization, especially in Thal engineering. I spent a lot of more than 10 years over here. Anyway, the as the topic of my uh, interaction session is project management and production management. The topic I chose because of the production, and mostly I work with the production from the last 10 years in the Pakistan. But the project management from the last couple of years, I did a couple of projects with the Thal engineering, especially a very big opportunity given me by the organization to develop a new plant and develop a new team and set up a new plant with the new uh, technical partner, which was the Yazaki. Most of the people maybe don't know about who is the Yazaki is. Yazaki is one of the biggest wiring harness manufacturer of almost in the world, you can say it. The other one is the Sumitomo. Sometimes Sumitomo is number one, and sometimes Yazaki is number one. So these are the two players who are mostly producing the wiring harness around the world. So it was a good opportunity not for the company as well as for the myself to do a new project management for the company. So project management actually is not a routine work. It definitely a work which has to be given or assigned as a special task to the people who has to perform this. As far as the project management is concerned, the project manager actually the change agent, and who has to take care all of the project necessities. For example, first of all, the organization who has to give some initiative, take some initiative and start project. For example, project, anything could be a project. For example, if you have to launch some new product into the market, it is a project. For example, you have to build a new plant, it's a project. If you have to launch new car, it's a project. So as far as for my concern is, I learn a different things about the project because we have to set up a new plant, new production lines, new management teams, new production teams, installation, a versatile things has to be done in my project management. So I would say to you that project management, especially the two things in the project management, one thing is starting time and the other thing is finish time. So there are two things you already knew it, that your project has to be start from this date and has to be finished in this date. So you have to have the limits, and in the limits you have to perform your task. There are multiple tasks, so the project management is especially how to manage the thing within the timelines, and within the timelines how you can do it. The one person cannot complete the project himself or itself. You have to have a team, you need a team. There are the team and team players which normally you don't work with them in your daily routine work. So you can say a multitasking teams, or the teams which are working in a different department, even in different organization as well. You have to work together and try to complete the task and the activities within the project in the specific timelines. So for the project management, first you have to have the initiative, what you are going to do. The second thing is the planning, and the third thing is the costing, feasibility, budgeting, and the monitoring. And last is the closing of the project. So the most important thing is the planning. First, you have to plan whether you have a very good feasibility. Based on the feasibility, you have to go to your management and ask them to get the approval of the project. If the management is happy, management have to see a lot of different things, but the most important thing is the budget, the cost, and after the cost they have to put the cost, and what is the how soon they will get the project money back. For example, what is the IIR? Any investment, if the management going to invest something, they would look into how soon they will get the investment back, how soon they have will recover the investment, and after that they will become a profitable. So these are the important lines. After that, the management is okay and you are good present the good feasibility to management, and they approve the project. Now the important thing is, what is the timeline, what is the start of the project, and what is the end of the project. So in between that you have to plan. So for the planning point of view, you have to work very hard, and you have to know each and every dimension of the project. So the person who is managing the project, he has to know the civil things about the building, how the building has to be constructed, how the different aspect of the building, what should be the electrical connection has to be done, what is should be the MEP of the building. So a different techniques you have to learn it, otherwise your planning is going to be failed. There are multiple things which has to be done during the project management that has to go simultaneously. For example, if you are working some other thing, that at the same time you have to do some other aspect of the building or of the project, perform at the same time. Otherwise, if you work on the one thing and the other thing has not been started at the same time, so your project will be delayed. So that's why the planning is one of the critical area where you have to be focused. Otherwise otherwise your project will be ended up is nothing. Nothing means your project will be completed, but as per the feasibility, it has to be completed 1 year ago, and you will be completed after 1 year. So all the resources and everything you have to put in the project will be wasted for 1 year time, because after 1 year you have to start the recovery of the project. From the project you have to start the earning of the money from the project, and if you delay 1 year, so everything has to be wasted for 1 year. So that is the important thing. The project management is how you plan your project, and what is the critical activities, and what is the timeline, and how good you are to go in details. Because the project manager is the person who has to go in details. Sometimes one project you can say is a master plan of the project. Master plan, for example, you have multiple things. For example, we made a new project in Yazaki. We made a new building. We have to also the installation of new machines. We have to make some of the OTS. OTS means first piece from the plant, or any off tool sample has to be made from the plant. So a multiple activity, as well as you have to do some of the VAVA activity, value added engineering and value added things has to be done during the design of the product you are going to produce at that plant. So these are the important area you have to look in. So you have to make a master schedule. Master schedule has to have all the information from the corporate timeline, for the manufacturing importance, what are the manufacturing steps you have to done, and what is the critical timeline of the project of the manufacturing, as well as the new building construction. So when you have to start the building and when you have to finish the building. So there are multiple things, and in the building you have to ensure when you are going to apply MEP. MEP is mechanical and electrical and plumbing work. For example, when you are going to apply for the electrical connection of the new building, when you are going to apply the water connection, when you are going to apply the plumbing section, when you are going to apply sui gas connection. So a lot different thing has in your mind, so that one thing has to be done at one time, and the same time the other thing has to be done on the same timeline. So these are the important areas. After that, the construction is going on, and the same time you have to work with the designer. So designer, where what the product you are going to manufacture in the same facility, so you have to work with the designers, and then what are the important steps you have to learn about the things you are going to make in that plant. If you are need some engineering changes in the design, you have to discuss, and after your discussion you have to select the new machinery, new processes. What are the processes you have to perform in the plant, and what are the new machinery you needed to import, and what are the machinery you have to buy from the local market. So you have to have all the knowledge about the machinery, and as well as when you are get the quotation and when you are going to order the machinery, because some machinery needs 6 month time, some machinery need 8 month time, some 2 months time. So but everything linked together with the total timeline when you are going to manufacturing the OTS. So all the things has to be done at the same time. So everything should have to be done in the every activity, not the in detail, but every activity has to be in your schedule, which is called the master schedule. So master schedule, after the master schedule you have made it, sometime master schedule needs 1 month time, 2 month time, it depends. But mostly the if you put a lot of time in the your planning division, planning timing, if you put a correct activities, correct timelines and everything, then it will be okay for you to monitor this, and as well as control the cost and everything within the project line. Otherwise what happen is, if you don't plan at the beginning, or you can say thoroughly plan that activity, it will be difficult for you to control the cost as well as deploy the human resources as well as achieve the timeline. So everything is depend upon the planning. So if you put a lot of work on the planning, obviously the execution and costing and everything can be manageable. Although very good planning, it's not 100% sure you are going to achieve, and you don't need any hiccups and everything during the project execution time. But what happen is, when you done a good planning, you also have some of the contingency plan along with that project management, because there are a lot of different things which you cannot handle. For example, if some delayed occur because of something happened from the import division, and you cannot receive the shipment on time, there are a lot of multiple things can be happen. So but you have to take the contingency plan along with that, as well as you have to have the risk management also included in your plan. Because if you don't have the risk management, for example, I have during the project management of this new plant, I encountered some of the hiccups of the machinery arrival timing. Because although we have planned the machinery and everything, almost a year ago we made the quotation and we placed the order. But in Japan, they place the order to their vendor or their supplier, but somehow unfortunately what happened is they couldn't completed the activity or couldn't complete the machine on time, and there were delay in the shipment of the machine. So once the delay of the machine, there's no other way how can you make the product without the machine. So you should have some contingencies. So at that point of time we have some contingencies, because we have another plant available in Korangi, where we have some of the specific machine available. We can use those machines. But as far as this area, but the other thing is, we have the technical assistant agreement with the Japanese company. So we ask them to support, because the machine is delayed and everything is delayed because of the machine delay. We need the parts in the semi-finished product form. So they provided those parts as a semi-finished product. As a semi-finished product, you can say it, they cut the wire, they crimp the wire in Japan and ship the semi-finished product form into our plant. So we don't need those machines. So we skip actually the processes which need by those machines which was delayed at that time. The other option we have, so because you should have very clear in mind that the risk management, so that the project manager has to see, if this thing happen, how you can mitigate the delays, and how you can try to accomplish the task within the time. Or sometime what happen is, if you plan some task to be completed within 10 days, but if you can cover the task within 8 days, so you just save 2 days over here. So accumulating the days from some other activities where you can complete the activity before the time, so you can have the accumulated hours or sometime days in your pocket, so you can use those days in the area where you find some delays in the project during the project monitoring time. So this is the important thing, because if you don't know about your areas, the deliverables, actually this is called the deliverables is sometime, for example, if we are talking about the building construction, so deliverables is, first you have to make the groundwork, which is called the base work, where you have the excavation of the earth, and after that you have the framework, and you have the some concrete work, and then plinth work, and blah blah blah. So you can say it that first we have to complete the plinth work, and then you have to go to the some first floor work. After that, the gray structure you have to make. These are the deliverables. For example, you have to complete this work by 10 days. After 10 days, more 15 days you needed to work for the gray structure, and after that the finished work you have to done blah blah blah. So that's how these are the deliverables. So based on the deliverables, you work very hard to achieve this small deliverable activities as per the schedule. If you are going to delay with that, so you are, as a project manager or project management team, you have to look into it, how to catch up these things, how to catch up. Sometime you have to put a lot of if you are going to increase the manpower, or sometime you have to increase the working hours. So that's how you will do that to complete the activity. But sometimes it's very difficult, because in construction work, if you have a framework and you have to have a roof laid on, then there need to be a 20 days for the curing of the roof. Before 20 days you cannot open the roof, so you have to wait 20 days, otherwise you can't do anything on that. So there are some constraints as well. But at the same time, you have to work some other activities which has to be done at the same time, right? So project management is a vast, and the person who work on that, I think it's a very specialized thing which is not being done. You can not learn from the book, but when you are work on the projects, so you definitely start learning the different techniques, different things. And most of the people who work as a team with the different people working within your organization, sometime within different department, they also give you some very good ideas about it, that how much time will take. Because if you are a mechanical like me, I'm a mechanical engineer, but I don't know about the construction. But during the working on the construction project or new building planning, at that point of time, I learned a lot from my civil engineers. Civil engineers told me, sir, how much time will it take to, lay the foundation? How much time will it take so for the, bricks work and pillar length and blah, blah, blah. All the activity they discuss in detail with me. And when we put a very good plan as a master schedule, and after that we are able to monitor it, and successfully, almost successfully, we finish the project within the timeline, because of the very good team, because it's a very good team. The other thing, the project manager who has to do as a project, he has to be very very energetic. He has to look all the details about the project, not only the details but also the cost, because cost is also one of the critical area you have to look into it. Because if your plan, your project has to be complete within 400 million rupees, for example, and if you are monitoring, because you have to award the work to the supplier, different works and quotation and all those things, if you are put together, everything put together, and every cost has to become in front of you, how much you have been spent and how much you have it. So otherwise you ended up a lot of extra costs you have to be put into it, if you are not a good planner to monitor the cost as well. Because sometime it happened that you just don't see and you don't put the focus, you put the focus onto the timeline. Oh, it's a win-win situation. Sometimes timeline is most critical, so you have to put some extra money on it to achieve those timelines. But sometimes the cost is also very matter for the management. If you take that, if you already taken the approval from the management about it, that the project will be completed within this cost, and approval has been given by the management that the cost is allocated for your project is 450 million rupees, and if you are going to expend the money more than that, you have to go back and ask the permission from the management as well, and nobody is going to allow you to use it, because before that you have given all the feasibility about it, when you are going to complete and how much cost you are going to involve. If you are not successfully done your homework correctly, so you have to ended up with the very bad situation in front of the management. So you have to take care of each and every aspect of the cost when you are in the planning phase. Planning phase means you are making a feasibility and going to take the approval from the management. So management is only take the two things very important for the management. For the management is that the timeline of the project, how you are going to complete and where you are. At that point of time, you are as per the schedule or you are behind the schedule, and what is the cost you are already spend on the project, and how much amount you already have in your pocket. So if you are balancing those things together, you are a good project manager. And if you are not doing it, if you are very good, you are achieving the timelines, but you are spending the money more than that the approval you get it, so you are not a good manager. Nobody likes you, and you have to be very careful. Otherwise people will see you as that you completed the project because you spend a lot of money, spending a lot of money because you are putting a lot of resources onto the project. If the people needed, 4 people needed to complete the task, you put a double or triple resources to speed up the project. But again, I am saying it, most of the time it is not a good strategy to do it. But sometime it happened, the time is very matter for you, because if you cannot attain the timeline, the project will be delayed and it will give you a lot of penalty on you. If you are not going to deliver the OTS of tool sample to the OEM, your customer, they will put a lot of penalty on you, because that product is very vital for the OEM. Because if you are not providing on time, their main product cannot be assembled. If their main project is delayed, they will be very, you can say, pissed off, obviously pissed off. And definitely they put a lot of, like the bad reputation and all those things. So you have to look into it, what is the best solution at that point of time. This is the way the project manager has to deal with that. And you have to, the other thing is that you have to convince your management, you have to convince your team, because the team you are working with, that project manager is dealing with the construction team, with the manufacturing team, with the import team, with the supply chain team, with the you can say the architecture, who is architect all the project to you, and the electrical team, and different team. He has to always with the instrumental, and always look into it where the project is going to be delayed and all those things. So I think it's project management is not a routine activity, it's a specialized, you can say it's a very skills. The person need a lot of skills to run the project. Otherwise, if you are not very energetic, and you are not very thorough about the things which you are going to do it, it's very difficult for you. But at the same time difficult, but it need a lot of your attention. If you put a lot of attention and you are very good as a team player, because it's one of the skills, how to manage the team. If you are a good team player and people like you and people like to work with you, definitely you can achieve your targets. And if you are not very good, people who don't like you, they are not going to comment you, they are not going to support you. It's very difficult to you, because you can't do that in your own, because the people is hiding a lot of different things from you and not going the correct progress of the project. It's very difficult for you to understand the project. So my point of view project is need your lot of skills, expertise, and the ability to inspire the other people. Because if you inspire the peoples, then they will work happily with you. Because most of the time it's very difficult for you to, you just scolding the people that you don't complete your activity, and all the time you are angry with them. It's not the way you can just finish your project. No, because you have to work and just listen and what's going on, what's wrong, and how to control the things, and what is the best solution available. Because most of the time the solution come from the bottom, because they are the people who are working by their hands. They knew it, how to fast the project and how to control the project. All these things happen. So but the things is, the instrumental person who is the project manager, who is looking after all these things, he knows everything, where you have to go and where you have to talk and whom you have to talk to expedite the project activities which is going to be delayed. So my personal opinion is your people skill must be very good. If your people skills is good, because most of the time during the planning is one of the critical area. If you plan the project very good on the paper, you make a very good plan, everything available, timeline, responsibility, but if you are not very good with the people management, how can you manage the project? No, because if people are not ready to work with you and people are not ready to work, so how can you achieve the task? No, there are a lot of excuses people can give you at that point of time. You are asked them, they will give you the excuses, because every time everybody have the excuses. So excuses cannot complete the project. So if you have a good people management skills, then you are able to ask the people to you, or ask, or you can say compel the people to work on the project, obviously. So as a broad and flexible toolkit, there are a lot of different toolkits available for the project management. For example, there are Gantt chart tools, Primavera, a lot of different things where the resources allocation, where the timelines.
Sir, what do you suggest? What is the best means a tool for the project management?
Actually, देखें मैं what I done myself is which is a simple project management schedule, which is I forget the name, unfortunately. Simple project. I made the Gantt chart on the simple. I forget the name. I will let you know in the. But there are good tools which I think 10 or 20, 10 or 15 years ago I used the Primavera. Primavera is a software which can allocate everything in the project, not only the costing, the manpower allocation, the resources, everything is available in that, and you can easily complete the project not only with the scheduling point of view, but also the costing as well. You are putting the cost as well, whatever the plan and what is the actual cost you incurred during the project. It automatically goes in and it will give you the correct picture at that point of time whenever you need it. So it's a very good tool. But as far as from my point of view, we just made the Gantt chart on the simple project. Forget the name. It's just the Windows software somewhere. So
I think sir, MS Project. I think MS
MS
Project.
project, MS project, right?
Yes,
MS
yes.
project. So MS project, you can put the Gantt chart. The Gantt chart is give you the idea what is the activity, and when you just broadly plan the activity. For example, the starting time and the ending time. But you have to go in details and you have to put another plan accordingly, that this activity has needed, for example, 5 or 6 more steps, which can divide. For example, whole activity will be completed in 15 days, but apart from 15 days there are 6 activities which has to be done. For example, one activity 2 days, other activity 4 days, there's a combined activity all together. So if you don't plan this way, you cannot be able to monitor your project successfully, because if you put a bird eye view, as you know, just to see from the top, you can just have some idea about this activity has to complete it, but the what are steps you needed to complete the activity, you have to give those specific information into your plan. Otherwise you cannot be able to achieve the targets. Sometime it achieve, but most of the time you feel a lot of difficulties in it. So
Exactly.
yes, you have any question?
Okay, sir. We will entertain the question answer, live question answer if somebody want to ask. Okay, sir.
Oh yes.
Okay.
So first of all, we have received a greeting for you from Tahir Talha. Assalamu alaikum, Salman Saab.
Walaikum salam.
Second is from Mohammad Amin. Which software does your company use to track the projects?
Okay.
That question I think Sadeh has already asked. Which software does your company use to track the projects?
Actually, देखें, what I told you, MS project is just a mindset. If it will give you some idea that when you are going to plan the activity, when you are going to finish the activity, and what are the activities is going to be simultaneously performing. If you have a very good idea, you can make a project on a Gantt chart of MS project, no problem. but but if you are a very good and you have to every allocation cost and resources, the other project I learned it from, I think 10 or 15 years ago, Primavera. I used it for that from the Descon. Yes, they work on the big project. So at that, I was a very fresh engineer and I work with them. So I use it, but not very expertise in it. But I know it's worked very well for the big projects. But the other thing I would like to add over here for the project management, uh, for the costing point of view, you have to make a feasibility before you initiate the project, and at that point of time, when you are doing the feasibility, you have to put all the things in the report. For example, what are the resources, what is the equipment, and what are the different aspect of the activities. All the costs you will put into it together and just come up with the total project cost, and that total project cost give you the idea. This is the and after the total project cost, you will take the initiative that this is the investment and how soon we will get the investment back and how soon we will start the profiting. So based on that, IIR management will take the decision.
Okay, sir. Okay. And what about, sir? Like we have a tool in quality as well. Like you can say PDCA. What do you say about this, sir? PDCA, plan, do, check, act. Is it is related to project management?
देखिए पीडीसीए तो कहीं भी यूज होता है, एवरीवेयर यू हैव टू डू इट. देखिए इसी का पार्ट है ना, प्लान, डू, एक्ट एंड चेक. इसमें भी सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट वही है प्लानिंग का. पीडीसीए आप छोटी सी चीज कर रहे हो तो प्लानिंग इज everybody told you have to put a lot of time on the planning. If you plan a good thing, good way, your execution will be easy and your result will be, I think, satisfactory. If you plan in a hurry, your monitoring is very you can say devastated, and it will give you most of the time not a very good results. So planning is the key for everything, project management and whatever you are doing it, planning is the critical area. If you don't plan very good, you can't able to get the good answers, no way. So PDCA,
Okay.
yes, quality
Yes.
tool. Quality tool is
Okay. Like, sir, you can say, and onward from now, we will focus on, because we are doing a lot of project on in box brain related to lean and all that, because this is also a project management kind of thing. So we will now, onward from now, we will focus on the planning phase, you can say.
yes. Planning, actually, if you don't plan very good, the execution will be very difficult, because during the execution time, most of the activities, yeah, sometime critical activity you missed out in your scheduling. If you miss the activities, it will be very difficult for you to, at that point of time, you add the activity and you complete the activity on time. For example, I can say to you that if you take a electrical connection for a new building, even there's no building and available at that point of time, you have to apply for the electrical connection, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of paperwork needed. And when the building is finished, at that time the paperwork and everything will be completed from the K Electric, and you will get the connection at the right time. But if you miss that chance, what happens is your building is completed but your electrical connection is not available. So you are delayed at that point of time, although you have some other option available. Maybe you have a generator and something like this, but this is not the right approach. You have to plan the everything as a right way. For example, for ssgc connection, a lot of time they take it, a lot of paperwork they need it, because of the some of the delays or not available, all those things. Resources availability for ssgc is very, it's a time completion activity time. So time consuming activity actually. So the planning is the critical area of the planning is you have to plan everything, and if you don't miss out, although you plan very good, but sometime you missed out some of the activities. But once you work one project and you learn a lot of different things from them, because you're learning from that, and the new project you will focus on those activities you miss out from the earlier project. So once you put those activity aligned together, maybe next project will be more successful than the previous one. So this is the learning curve you have to enhance day by day. Otherwise, it's impossible every project have the same dimension, have the same problem, have the same constraint. No, not at all. Every project has a different dimension, different resources, different problems. But some of the things, critical things you should have into your mind, because you learn from the previous one, which will you can copy in the new project and focus on that activity where you missed out. So so if you work on the one project, I think you learn a lot, and the second you will become a polish in the sense you will not making a lot of mistakes, and even third project you will be a very good. The important thing is, for as far as the project management is, the other thing is, as far as the planning is concerned, if you are a good planning, good. But the people management is one of the strongest area of the project manager. If you are not a good people manager, it's very difficult for you to complete the task within the timeline, because sometimes you very harsh with the people, and sometimes you are very friendly with them. Sometimes team is very demotivated, you have to motivate them. How you motivate the team, this is the important area. So the person who is managing all these things, he should know it, how to motivate the team all the time, how to get the work done from the team, what is the time they have to be angry on them, and what is the time they have to be very friendly with them, because he knows it, this is the critical time and this is the very difficult task, and the people are very demotivated. If you are at that point of time, people are demotivated, and you are just going to angry on them, and just you are just blaming them, it's not the culture, because blame game is not going to finish your project. You have to be very careful, and you have to work very hard with the people, because this is one of the, not only in the project management, even in the production, even in the quality, the people are one of the very you can say volatile thing. You cannot predict how he will behave today and how he behave tomorrow. Nobody knows, because one day he is very happy, he will work very good quality product he produce, and second day he has a quarrel with his wife and he is not happy, something happened at home, and he was very disturbed, and come into the office and just work very not very cheerful, and just working with the low spirit, demotivation, and he produce a lot of defect. As you know, you work on the quality side, you know very well about it. So the manager role is to motivate the team all the time.
Okay, sir. Short. What this is a very good about the sir. Like you can say project management. We have learned a lot of things related to project and management. And there's a lot of sir. People are watching us related to young engineers, youngsters, and related to the project management professionals. Sir. So first, sir, start with the two or three questions. So, what do you think about recent? Because it's not related to the topic, but it's related to the overall. So, what do you think about the coronavirus? So, what do you said about the? Just give you a little bit comments on that, sir.
Coronavirus, actually, at the beginning of the outset of the coronavirus, at that point of time, I was very you can say uh, not very surprised that this thing happened in Pakistan. I was thinking that this might be happen in somewhere else, and Pakistan will not affect by this. But later on, the things is coming to us, and we feel, oh, it is in over here, and suddenly the lockdown and all those things started. At that point of time, I was very optimistic that thing will be over within couple of weeks or maybe 2 weeks time, everything will be settled down and things will be become normal. But later on, we find out that this is going to be happen, and this is going to continue not weeks but months. And after that, I realized that we have to change ourselves. We have to change ourselves because this is not, although the the severity is, or you can say the death rate is very low uh, as compared to the other diseases, but nobody knows will be the next victim of this. It's going to be most of the time people saying that only the older people are dying because of this, but I can say I can have some of the knowledge about it who are not more than 40 years or 50 years within that bracket. People are dying. So we should have to be taking it seriously, and all the measures or all the preventive measures has been given by the doctors and organization, which is most important to us, to refrain from the handshaking and milna julna ek dusre ke sath, social distancing. You have to make sure and ensure that you have to follow those instructions. Otherwise, uh, you will bring it to your home, and all the people within your home and family will be get affected. So I think we should all have to be take it seriously, and it's not a garbage or anything. It's not a lie, because most of the people I can see a lot of even educated people are saying a different thing about it, and social media is full of that this is all the rubbish and all this not true and blah blah blah. But I think this is not the right approach, because all the overall you can see the whole world is affected by this, and the economies around the world is just going down because of this. This is not the simple thing. It is very very big thing. Nobody wants it that their people will dying because of this. So I think we have to live with it, and as quickly as possible we learn it how to live with COVID-19. It is better for us. Not only educate yourself, educate your family, educate your members, everybody, whoever you want to educate, whoever within your jurisdiction available, you should convey to them how to protect yourself. The best thing is stay away, social distancing and hand washing and all those things, whatever is available. I think that's my learning.
Okay. Okay. And then, sir, what about our my vision and box brain vision? What do you said about the box brain? And we are working on different projects. And what your comment
Sad,
about box brain?
Sad, what I'm saying is I'm really happy and see about you how you are just making a progress on this new idea, and I'm really happy that you are taking this step and you are working in a right direction. I think you are you are taking a right steps, not only right direction, right steps to you just to get the progress and get the familiar within the market and everything. I feel really happy uh, to you about you. You take a very good decision, not doing any job and just working on this, because this is your forte, I think, and you choose the right path. I think I'm happy about it, and the progress you are making right now is tremendous, I think. And hopefully by doing this type of new techniques and new ideas, you will be flourish hopefully soon.
Inshallah, sir. Bilkul. Thank you so much for your sir lovely comment, sir. Okay, Sarosh is one of them. From the junior batch is going to pass out after a couple of months. So हमारे जो यंगस्टर हैं और लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट हमारे यंगस्टर्स के लिए और सरोज के लिए और बहुत सारे काफी हमारे जूनियर्स जो देख रहे हैं जो कि पास आउट हो रहे हैं क्योंकि हमें जो है अभी लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग पे स्टूडेंट्स भी देख रहे हैं तो उनके लिए प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के हवाले से क्योंकि वो फाइनल ईयर में प्रोजेक्ट लेते हैं तो सर आपका शॉर्ट एक कमेंट रिगार्डिंग टू यूथ छोटा सा मैसेज या रिलेटेड टू दिस सर थैंक यू
यार मैं बस यही कहूँगा, प्रोजेक्ट हमने भी फाइनल ईयर का जब किया था तो सच्ची बात है उसमें इतनी मेहनत नहीं की थी, मोस्टली हमने किताब का पेट भरा था और कोशिश ये की थी कि प्रोजेक्ट हो जाए किसी तरह से एंड वी जस्ट गेट द डिग्री. बट द राइट नाउ इट इज़ अ कट थ्रोट कॉम्पिटिशन इन द मार्केट. मैं यंग इंजीनियर्स को अब ये कहना चाहूँगा कि इस वक्त जो मार्केट है वो बहुत ज़्यादा सैचुरेटेड हो चुकी है. If you are not good engineer, if engineer means if you are not good in your theory, if you are not good in your learning, whatever you learn in the university, and you don't have a good knowledge about it, it's very difficult for you to compete in the market. So कोई भी चीज़ कर रहे हो उसको डेप्थ में करो यार, क्योंकि आप प्रोजेक्ट आपको मिलता है फाइनल ईयर का, वो बहुत ज़बरदस्त चीज़ है. उसको अगर आप डिटेल में एक दफ़ा कर लेंगे, उसके क्यों किया, क्या वजूहत थी, पूरा आल्दो कि पूरा डेटा आप इंटरनेट से निकालते हैं, पूरी सारी चीज़ें आप डिज़ाइन एंड डेवलपमेंट वहीं से करते हैं, कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन जब आप नई नई टेक्निक्स, नई नई चीज़ें सीखोगे जाके वहाँ से, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको कोई ना कोई एज देगा. जब आप कहीं बैठोगे इंटरव्यू में जाके, जब कॉम्पीट करोगे, तो यू विल get a benefit of it definitely. Because
Right, sir.
हम जैसे हम हैं, हम भी जब किसी नए बच्चे का इंटरव्यू करेंगे तो हम फाइनल ईयर का प्रोजेक्ट पूछते हैं कि भाई तुमने क्या किया प्रोजेक्ट में. तो अगर इफ़ यू डोंट नो अबाउट द प्रोजेक्ट, सिंपल यू आर सेइंग मैंने यूं यूं किया, तो हमें भी पता होता है इसने क्या किया. तो यू शुड हैव टू वर्क वेरी हार्ड एंड वर्क ऑन दैट. और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि सैचुरेट है मार्केट, अभी भी है और आगे भी होगी. ऐसा नहीं है कि जितने इंजीनियर्स आएंगे जितना वो होगा, ऐसा मैं आपको डरा नहीं रहा कि अल्लाह ना करे कि ऐसा भी नहीं है. लेकिन ये होता है कि जब आप मार्केट में आते हो तो सारे लोग एक रेस में जब लगते हैं ना, जाके 200-300 लोगों का बैच जब बाहर निकलता है, तो एक जॉब के ऊपर 100 बंदे चले जाते हैं, आप जैसे सब लोग जाते हैं. तो उसमें कंपनी यही चाहती है कि जो बेस्ट हो वो लेगी वो कंपनी. तो बेस्ट के लिए एक तो ये तरीका होता है कि कंपनी देखती है इसके ग्रेड क्या है, जीपीए क्या आया हुआ है, क्या नंबर लिए हैं. लेकिन दूसरा, जब इंटरव्यू करते हैं तो उसमें पता चल जाता है आदमी का, इफ़ यू आर नॉट गोइंग गेट अ गुड ग्रेड बट योर आईक्यू इज गुड, बिकॉज आपने पढ़ा अच्छा है, आपका आईक्यू अच्छा है, आप जवाब अच्छे दे सकते हो, तो यू आर सेलेक्टेड. तो अपनी मेहनत सिर्फ इस पे करनी है यार, कि जो आप पढ़ के आ रहे हो. मुझे पता है बहुत अच्छे लड़के पढ़ रहे हैं, बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त जो आते हैं लड़के इंटरव्यू देते हैं, तो बहुत कुछ आता है उन्हें, माशाल्लाह अच्छा पढ़ रहे हैं. तो मेरा यही है कि बस प्रोजेक्ट जो फाइनल ईयर का प्रोजेक्ट है उसमें दम लगाओ यार, दम लगा के उसको अच्छी तरह करके आओ, क्योंकि पास होना अब नहीं है, अब तुम्हें आगे जाके जॉब भी लेनी होती है फाइनल ईयर के बाद.
साथ भी एक लास्ट कमेंट है, हम वो शामिल कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, श्योर करें, उसके बाद फिर हम इसको रैप अप करते हैं.
So can you see this comment?
आर्टिफिशियल देखें, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में तो मैं इतना ज़्यादा उसको अप्लाई नहीं किया मैंने, लेकिन डेफिनेटली आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो कि बहुत सारी चीज़ों को पहले ही हमें बता देती है कि इसको करने से ये होगा, इसको ना करने से ये होगा. जस्ट वन थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू, देखें आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में मैं एक चीज़ आपको बता सकता हूँ कि मैं जब यूएस में था तो हम प्रोजेक्ट करते थे फाइनाइट एलिमेंट एनालिसिस, FEA, जिसमें ये होता था कि हम सॉफ्टवेयर के ऊपर सारा कुछ बनाते थे, गाड़ी का पूरा मॉडल बनाते थे, उसको क्रैश एनालिसिस करते थे, उसको आपके स्टैटिक एनालिसिस करते थे, और उसकी मदद से हम ये बताते थे कि डिज़ाइन करते हुए कहाँ कहाँ वीकनेसेस हैं, कहाँ स्ट्रेसेस जनरेट हो रहे हैं, और कहाँ पे डिज़ाइन को चाहिए रोबस्टनेस, कहाँ पे बीफ अप करना है डिज़ाइन को, कहाँ पे मटेरियल बहुत ज़्यादा है इसको निकाल दो. तो डिज़ाइन को अप्रोच करने के लिए आज से कोई 15-20 साल पहले हम इस सॉफ्टवेयर पे मैं काम करता था वहाँ पे. तो उसकी तहत तो ये भी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ही हुई ना, हम एक सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू हम बता रहे होते थे सारी चीज़ों को कि कैसे हमने इसको डिज़ाइन करना है. और लेटर ऑन इसने इतना ज़्यादा तरक्की की वहाँ पे कि बहुत सारा, क्योंकि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि जब नई गाड़ी बनती है, प्रोटोटाइप बनती है, तो उस पर मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर की पहली गाड़ी जो बनती है वो मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर लगते हैं उस पर, बिकॉज ये जो पहला पार्ट बनता है उसमें सारी टूलिंग बहुत महंगी होती है, हर चीज़ महंगी होती है. तो हर टूल को बनाने के लिए एक पार्ट को बनाने के लिए हर पार्ट की टूलिंग बन रही होती है, और हर पार्ट की टूलिंग वेरी एक्सपेंसिव होती है, एक एक पीस जब बन रहा होता है. तो जब पहली गाड़ी बनती है तो सम टाइम इट कॉस्ट यू $5 million. और जब पहली गाड़ी बनने के बाद जब उसको एनालिसिस करते हैं तो सम टाइम दे क्रैश द व्हीकल, जब उसको क्रैश कर देते हैं तो फिर उन्हें पता चलता है कि इसमें यहाँ डिज़ाइन में फेलियर्स हैं। तो उसको ख़त्म करने के लिए इन्होंने ये शुरू किया था FEA, फाइनाइट एलिमेंट एनालिसिस, और CAE, क्रैश एनालिसिस जिसे कहते हैं, कंप्यूटर एडेड इंजीनियरिंग या एनालिसिस कह लें आप उसको। तो ये उन्होंने शुरू किया था 2001-2000, जब मैं वहाँ था वहाँ पे। तो उससे ये हुआ कि हमने मॉडल को कंप्यूटर पे बनाया और कंप्यूटर पे बना के उसको एनालिसिस कर दिया और बता दिया कि इसमें ये फ्लॉज हैं। तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट फ्लॉज उन्होंने अपने डिज़ाइन को बीफ अप किया, और बीफ अप करने के बाद फिर उस गाड़ी को नहीं बनाया बल्कि उसको डिज़ाइन को मॉडिफाई कर दिया, और मॉडिफाई करने के बाद जब ओके डिज़ाइन आ गया CAE के ऊपर या FEA के ऊपर, तो फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने गाड़ी बनाई। तो उन्होंने तकरीबन 2 स्टेप एलिमिनेट कर दिए शुरू के, जिसमें वो गाड़ी 5-5 मिलियन की गाड़ी बनाते थे, वो एलिमिनेट करके फिर जो फन बनाया वो सक्सेसफुल हो गया उनका। तो उन्होंने ठीक ठाक कॉस्ट बताई। तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस यस बहुत सारी चीज़ों में हमें सपोर्ट कर सकती है, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट में क्यों नहीं करेगी। जब हम जितनी सारी चीज़ें आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में डालते जाएंगे वो हमें गाइड करता जाएगा, दिस इज द एरिया वेयर यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन दिस वे और दिस वे, बिकॉज समटाइम इफ यू आर न्यू यू डोंट नो। आप जैसे मैं फर्स्ट टाइम प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा था, मुझे सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन का कुछ पता ही नहीं था कैसे होता है क्या होता है। तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस गिव यू द आइडिया, इफ आई पुट द नंबर्स ही विल गिव यू, ओ दिस एक्टिविटी कैन नॉट कंप्लीटेड विद इन दिस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। आपको या तो एक्टिविटी के डेज बढ़ाने पड़ेंगे या नंबर ऑफ रिसोर्स बढ़ानी पड़ेंगी, तो वो हमें गाइड कर सकते हैं। डेफिनेटली आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस गुड आइडिया टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट, होना चाहिए।
चलें सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम सर। काफ़ी थोड़ा सा टाइम था बट काफ़ी मज़ा आया।
लंबा हो गया।
जी सर बिल्कुल, काफ़ी मज़ा आया सर, क्योंकि आपको छोड़ने का दिल नहीं चाह रहा। फिर काफ़ी हमारे जो बैच के और प्रोजेक्ट्स के काफ़ी लोग भी मतलब व्यूज़ थे, उनके कमेंट्स भी आ रहे थे ऑन माई पर्सनल। तो उन्होंने भी कहा कि यार बड़ा मज़ा आ रहा है। काफ़ी दिनों बाद सलमान साहब को सुना है उनका, मतलब क्योंकि लास्ट आपका 2017 में मेरा आपके साथ सेशन था, उसके बाद फिर अपना 2020 के अंदर। तो बड़ा मज़ा आया। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम सर। तो
नहीं यार, थैंक यू, तुमने बुलाया माशाल्लाह, तुम जो काम कर रहे हो, तुमने बुलाया माशाल्लाह, तुम जो काम कर रहे हो, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी, और इंशाल्लाह यू विल बी सक्सेसफुल सून।
थैंक यू सो मच सर। हम अपने व्यूअर्स को अल्लाह हाफ़िज़ कह देते हैं फिर। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
ओके जी, अल्लाह हाफिज़।